Yeah, Amber's fucked. Welcome back to another episode of DarthNews, Special Edition, Everybody Loves Johnny. Actually, scratch that. Special Edition, Everybody Hates Amber. If you're watching this video right now, there is a high probability, probably around 100% probability, that you have seen at least some clips of Johnny's testimony today when he took the stand. Anybody who's anybody tuned in, at least for a little while. But today, I'm not going to be showing you the clips. This is just a recap. I was in the courtroom, I was sitting there, live in person, so I'm just going to give you my firsthand accounts. A whole lot was said, like a lot. So I'm going to try to, again, compound all of this information into a hopefully digestible format. So they started off today just getting right into it. They started off asking questions about Amber, and he was like, she took all the attention away from my kids and made it all about her. She always called Johnny a bad father. Like, Amber would call him a bad father so many times over and over and over again that he started to believe like there was something wrong with him. When there was nothing wrong with him. What was wrong with him was his barn witch. He said that he always believed in picking your battles. You have to pick the battles. If something is really worth fighting for or dying on that hill, then you die on that hill. If it's worth fighting for. None of these fights that they were having were worth fighting for. These weren't battles that he was picking. These were battles that were being picked. He considered Amber Heard's way of fighting to be like a teenage high school tactic. It was bullying, and he hates bullying. And here I am bullying Amber because she deserves it. But he goes on to say that this idea of a celebrity that he's not even used to, he's still not used to the idea of fame. But he said once you are a celebrity or a public figure of sorts, that anybody can say anything they want about you. They can just say whatever they want for their own personal gain. He was never really sure what Amber Heard's motives were, so that was interesting. I think deep down maybe he knows. But he just kind of noticed this visceral need from Amber to start conflict. She had a need for violence, for toxic behavior, nonstop. And growing up around his father, seeing him take the abuse, the only way he knows how to react to abuse is by retreating, which is why he would try to escape from room to room to room to get away from the toxic behavior. They asked him, so why did you stick around with Miss Heard? And again, it goes back to his father. He didn't want to fail her. He didn't want to fail. He had failed his previous relationship, and he just didn't want to be a failure. And he truly believed that he could help Amber. He thought he could help her. That's a man. That's a real man. So Johnny went on to say that Amber Heard over time became his biggest opponent. It wasn't a partnership. It was in a battle. They weren't partners. They weren't partners in crime. It was a criminal attacking an innocent person, is how I interpret it. He said that Amber Heard always talked about suicide. Now, considering his mother attempted suicide right in front of him, well, that's going to hit him pretty deep, don't you think? So that's going to make him be like, okay, well, I can't leave her because she's talking about suicide. She obviously didn't mean it. She's a sociopath. She's manipulating him, manipulating his emotions, his feelings. It's sick. He went on to say that Amber Heard was screaming in the parking lot in front of his house at 4 a.m., wearing her nightgown for an hour, just like, Johnny! God, I couldn't imagine that. The first person to record a conversation was Johnny, and he told Amber, yo, I'm going to record these conversations so that way, you can hear what you sounded like the next day. So you can hear how fucking psycho you are. You can hear the way you're talking to me. Because she would contradict herself all the time. She would say something, and then be like, oh, I never said that. Never said that. So now he's recording to make sure she knows she said these things. But she was just always berating him with insults, anything to make him feel small, like a small man. And he said it was pretty obvious that Amber was kind of performing for the cameras, if you will, for the audio, for the recording. Like, she would just, yeah, she's aware of how she's acting. So sometimes she had to be recorded in secret, I guess. But, you know, he went on to say, like, why would you hit somebody to make them agree with you? Like, why would you do that? Why would you hit? It's like, you don't agree with me? Boom, boom. You agree with me now? No? You agree with me now? No? It's like, it doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't do anything. It's fucking awful. She used to call him the monster, and like that he had demons. And anytime he'd be under the influence of anything, he'd become the monster. Her favorite wine was this, I think it was Vega Sicilia wine. I think that's what it was called. I don't know. But Amber Heard would easily drink 2 bottles of wine each night, and she continued to keep drinking while he was sober for 18 months. While he was going through sobriety, she would just fucking drink in front of him. And he's such a gentleman. The motherfucker poured her glasses of wine for her. So I'm not saying like he had a problem. I'm sure he didn't like it, but he put up with it. Amber has some nerve. When she was asked, like, when he asked her, would you go through sobriety with me? Would you try to do this with me so we can do this together? She was like, no, I don't have a problem. You don't have a problem? So then why the fuck do you have a nurse? Is this like one of those rich people things? Just everyone has a nurse, a personal nurse? Why do you have a nurse, Amber? They asked him, like, have you had anything to drink in those 18 months that you were sober? And he said he had a half a glass of champagne with Christopher Lee at his Lifetime Achievement Award, which was just like a little toast. Just, nope, that's it. Put it down. That was it. Just like a little flute of champagne, and just, that was it. So, you know, the dude is being extremely honest. Some people in the chat were like, the live chat were like, he's just taking forever to get to the point. It's like, that's just chill out, man. Let the man talk, okay? It's like, let him breathe. Let him come to his own conclusions, and then let him form his own sentences the way he... I mean, because like everything he's saying, he's on the stand. So everything he says is very important. So he's taking his time to think about his answers and how to frame them. They then asked Johnny what kind of drugs Amber Heard liked to do. And he was like, well, MDMA and shrooms. And like, well, how many times did she do that? And he was like, well, fucking dozens of times. She made fun of his tattoo, right? She made fun of his tattoos. Amber made fun of Johnny's tattoos. Like, how fucked up do you have to be to do that to somebody? I wouldn't even do that to somebody I don't like unless I'd set it behind their back. But to make fun of someone's tattoo in front of their face, that's so... I don't know. You got no class, man. Johnny said that it's like going through someone's personal journal and picking out the things that you don't like about them. It's like, why? No, you shouldn't have to go back and rewrite your journal or your diary. That's like silly. Well, why would you do that? It's a piece of him. He's taking a piece of him with him. It's a moment in his history, like a moment in his life when he had his first daughter, when he had his first son. You know. He then went on to say something about how, you know, humor has to come through the pain. You know, dark humor. Like, you have to find humor in pain, otherwise you're just going to suffer. And that's what I try to do, you know, to be honest. I like doing that. I'm really tired today, guys, so I got, like, no fucking energy, as you can tell. Like, I'm getting worn out pretty quick. You know, it's a lot. You know, each night getting, like, 4.5 hours of sleep is tough, and then working all day. It's just... Anyways, that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is, he didn't want to fail. He didn't want to fail Amber. But he also didn't know what he was up against. He had no idea what he was up against or what she was capable of. And he found out in the worst possible way. So he talked about his roxycodone addiction, you know, and this trial for a minute turned from like a domestic violence trial or a domestic violence abuse topic to an addiction topic. And I think this is a very good thing to be brought to light on such a public, you know, trial case, because millions of people suffer with opioid addictions, mainly because their fucking doctors are prescribing them, you know, opioids for a fucking toothache. And then they get hooked, and the doctors get rich. It's fucked up. Johnny said that he told his nurse that he was more addicted than he was, So that way, you know, because if you're more addicted, you need a higher dose to feel the effects. So they give him more. So that way he'd always have like 1 or 2 in his pocket. So in case he was ever crashing, he could just come back up. Because again, he wasn't doing drugs to get high. No. At this point, you're doing drugs to feel normal. It's different. He's not like Amber, like, let's go to Coachella and let's just fucking have threesomes and just like, no, they're like, those days are over. You know, there was a moment where Johnny's like, yeah, it's just like, so all of a sudden I'm in my 50s and I'm an abuser. Like, I just decided to become an abuser in my 50s. Amber liked to say that he was always blacking out from alcohol. But he was going on to say there's a difference between blacking out from alcohol and what he calls the nod, which is where you just drift off into dreamland, like mid-sentence, from opiates. You just kind of like fall asleep. You know, you're not blacked out. It's a totally different type of send-off. And they talked about the Chateau Marmont. I don't know how to spell it. But they got into a fight, and Johnny needed some space, and she, instead of going to one of the other residences, she was like, I want to go to Chateau Marmont or whatever. And Johnny paid for her to stay up in this place for a week. And it's like, just shows it, like, he just does everything for her. He spoiled her. While Johnny was going through withdrawals, Amber Heard was withholding Johnny's meds, saying, nope, it's not your time yet, Johnny, sorry, nope, you gotta wait till 4 o'clock. And he's like, it's not about time or clocks. Like, when you are going through withdrawals, it hits you hard and fast. Like, there's no schedule. You know, he wasn't like, yo, give me the whole bottle. He's like, just give me my one. You know? So, no, it's not time yet. Then he rolled off the couch onto the floor, crying and begging Amber Heard to please give him his medicine so the pain would stop. And she just looked at him and basically laughed. She was like, no, sorry. So then he went and told the doctors on the island that Amber Heard didn't give him his meds. And he was like, you know, I think this is over. This is not going to work. We can't do this here with her. It's just not going to happen. We gotta, this is over. So Johnny, again, like, when they got back from the island, he was like, I need some space, man. Like, I need some fucking space. And she just accused him of abandoning her. Like, he's like, you're just abandoning me. I'm like, cry about it. It's like, he's not abandoning you. He just needs his fucking space. That's so hard to understand. You know? Then he went on to say that, and coming through his, I think it's a bit blurry. I'm a bit blurry on the facts here, but he said something like he didn't want to take lithium anymore, or he didn't want to take lithium or these other like methadone kind of medications because it would just become like another hurdle for him to get over. Like, one more thing to get addicted to. It's like, no, like, let's just cut this cold turkey. So that's what he ended up doing, and he's been clean on the opiates, by the way. He's been clean from opiates and alcohol. He's just, smokes weed, which is what I do. Well, and wine. But I don't spend $30,000 on wine. I spend like $3 on a bottle. It's wine, dude. Who cares if it's cheap? Johnny and Amber got married pretty quickly, and Lily Rose Depp, Johnny's daughter, did not want to attend the wedding because she did not get along with Amber. That should have been the first red flag. Like, I know some daughters are just stuck up and they don't understand dad and like his new girl, but Lily was onto something. Johnny should have, dude. Like, if you really love your family member or your daughter or your significant other or your friend or whoever you confide in, and they tell you, yo, I don't like this person you're with. They are bad for you. They are so bad for you. I can't even be happy for you. I'm not even going to show up to your wedding because this is a mistake. If someone was that serious about not approving of the person I'm with, I would take a step back and objectively look at what I'm doing. But Johnny was just entranced. He was caught in the barn witch's spell. Anyway, so at the wedding, there was a drug schedule. Yes, there was a drug schedule. There was a list, and it had dinner, dancing, and drugs on it. And it had like a time, like, MDMA at 1700, bitches, like shrooms at fucking 0400 or whatever. I don't know, you get. So then they asked Johnny, so did you do any of these drugs at your wedding? And he was like, no. And I'm like, well, why not? He's like, because it wouldn't have had an effect on me. He's like, I would have been stealing somebody else's high. He was like, my drug of choice is marijuana. And after the wedding, he was like, well, shit, it's too late for the prenup. So then he kind of floats around the post-nup idea, and Amber Heard does not like that at all. So she gets pissed off about the post-nup agreement. She goes, Johnny, I'm not even in your will. Like, what the fuck? I'm not even in your will? Whoa, psycho vibes. What are you trying to kill him? Are you hoping he dies soon? What do you mean? The dude, like, before you fucked his life, the dude was worth like $650 million. I'm sure he would have taken care of you. You would have gotten a lot more than $7 million. You fucking greedy whore. He said that it was absolute madness. Johnny was like, it was madness. It was chaos. I mean, she was just, it was violence. She was irate. It was like she was possessed. He said he locked himself in up to 9 bathrooms and bedrooms to try to hide from Amber while she was banging and screaming on all the doors. Like, let me in, Johnny, we gotta fight. So then he goes into the whole finger story, and what happened with that was, he was, I don't remember where, he was in Australia. He was at the bar, and he was drinking a bottle, not a bottle, he was pouring himself a shot. It was like a regular size, like a liter bottle of vodka. Amber comes out, was like, you're drinking again, blah, blah, oh, here's the monster, and all that nonsense. And he takes the shot, and she, like, grabs the bottle and throws it and breaks it. And he's like, well, fuck you. I want to grab this bottle. So he grabs a bigger bottle, like the one with the handle, pours himself a shot, throws it back, puts it over there. She grabs the bottle at some point, and his hands, if you watch the testimony, his hands were on the bar, around the edge of the bar like this, and she threw the bottle, and it just exploded on his fingertip. Just blew his finger right off. And he said he felt no pain at first. It was just a very hot, pulsing feeling, a throbbing feeling, which is exactly what I felt when I cut my finger. Which maybe you can see it better this time. See that? See that line? Yeah, I cut. Yeah. Anyway, I did the same shit, man, and it hurt like a motherfucker. And when he was retelling the story about like how it happened, man, like I started getting like PTSD a little bit. I was like, I started feeling like queasy. Because I actually know what that feels like, and it's like, oh, it's so bad. Well, not with the glass bottle, but with the door. So, like, his excuse to the hospital, he said he closed it in a door, that's what actually happened to me. So that's kind of funny that I don't know, thought that was kind of cool. Not important to the story, though. Let's keep going. Then he briefly mentioned something about the staircase incident when they showed the photo of him with a bruised cheek. He said that Whitney actually tried to stop Amber from, like, attacking Johnny, and Amber reached around her and just clocked him. It was boom, boom. Like, wherever she could get, like, a hit in, she would hit him. But Whitney was trying to stop her from doing this. So I tip my beanie to Whitney for at least seeing reason. At least there's somebody with a fucking moral compass in the family. Then I think at some point we started listening to the Amber audio, the infamous Amber Heard Johnny Depp audio. The audio that launched basically this YouTube channel that I'm doing here at DarthNews. That was like one of the first videos I did on Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. But yeah, we all know the audio, we've all heard it, but it was totally different because the audio must have been like its raw digital file, because it was crystal clear audio and it was loud. They turned that shit up in the courtroom, and just hearing this, like, I started doing this. I was like, oh my god, I just felt like I should not be listening to this. Like, I'm looking at Johnny. I'm looking the man in the face while he's listening to this, to this, and I'm listening to it, and I'm seeing him react to it. I'm just like, oh my god, I felt like I was invading someone's private space, and I just should not be in this personal bubble. But this had to be aired out. And, man, it's some powerful shit. It's like, I know Amber's not on the stand for domestic abuse, but it's kind of laying the foundation for her character, so that way the jury can make a better judgment on what's going on. And her intentions and if they were actually malicious. So yeah, the whole room felt super awkward. The energy was very awkward. We listened to the audio where she's like, you're avoiding the solution, Johnny. You're not avoiding a fight, you're avoiding the solution. Like what? Like you have the solution, Amber? What, you got the answers? It seems like all you do is like fucking cause chaos. Then Johnny's like, you kept coming at me. You know, you kept coming at me, just bang, bang, bang. Then she admits to throwing pots and pans. She's like, yeah, but it's a non sequitur, Johnny. It's irrelevant. Throwing pots and pans is irrelevant because they're not fists. They're pans. You're just a baby, Johnny. Just grow up, Johnny. Like seriously, like I did. You know, I did start a physical fight. You know, I did. You know, I was hitting you, but I wasn't punching you, Johnny. Like you were not punched, babe. Like I was hitting you. You weren't punched. Johnny just continued to say that Amber would just spew out this sarcastic, aggressive, toxic, violent word salad of just bleh, just all the time. Then there was the whole door struggle, the whole, how are your toes? How are your toes? How are your toes? That whole thing. So he was in the bathroom, avoiding Amber, and the door closes inward. Amber tried to open the door, and he's like, no! And he tried to close it with his shoulder, and apparently she's like, ow, my fucking toes! Ow, you hurt me! And the door is still open a little bit. And he, like, gets down on his hands and knees to, like, look at her toe, while he's still in the bathroom. And then she fucking kicks the door and hits him in the head. She kicks the door in on his face. And then she punched him in the jaw. But wait, there's more. Oh, there is more, but to move on to the next thing they talked about, they brought up the engraved knife that Amber Heard gifted Johnny Depp for his birthday. I think it said Hasta la Muerte, XX Slim or something. It means basically until death, which is fucking creepy. Like, if you saw a picture of this knife, it's like a fucking, like, I mean, it's a dope knife, don't get me wrong, but it's like kind of like serial killer vibes. You know? Like, what do you mean until death? Are we gonna like cut our wrists together? What is the message you're sending me with this knife? Am I supposed to kill you with it? Okay, so then they went back to the topic of the door struggle where, you know, she kicked the door in on him and then punched him in the face, and then he like tried to calm her down, right, by like bear hugging her from behind. So he's bear hugging her, and she's like, get off of me, And there was, like, you know, what he called accidental contact. You know, he was just trying to calm her down. And she accused him of headbutting her and breaking her nose. But there was no blood. Okay, look, I have broken my nose more times than I'd like. And every single time, your nose gushes blood. Rarely, very rarely does your nose not bleed. It is very rare to, like, just have a broken nose and it not bleed. That's... yeah, and when you do break your nose, your eyes swell up. Like you can't even see because you're just crying. Not like tears of pain, but like it's just an automatic thing your body does. She didn't break her nose, and we're gonna get to it because Johnny's like, wait, you broke your nose? Like, you know, he was placating her. Like, I'm so sorry. Let me see your nose. And she's like, no, you can't see my nose. No, don't look. It's so ugly. I need a nose job. So then she goes to the bathroom, right? And he's not stupid. He's like, she didn't break her nose. She comes out of the bathroom with a tissue, like, oh my God, Johnny, look, I'm bleeding. There's a bloody tissue. And he's like, I'm sorry, baby. And she's like, goes back to the bathroom or whatever. And he's still not buying it. He's like, no, that's fishy because I would have felt the force of me breaking her nose. I didn't do that. So then he, you know, James Bonds his way into the bathroom. And then fucking picks up the tissue. And you know what it is? It's fucking nail polish. Red nail polish. Bravo, Amber. Fucking so good. You're so smart. That's so creative. Anyway, so the staff on the island, so Johnny's staff on his island, witnessed Amber's violence firsthand, and they were visibly shaken when Johnny Depp approached them to talk to them about it. You know, they saw it firsthand. But Johnny was objected when he was about to talk more about that, because it's technically hearsay, because you can't testify for somebody else. But then again, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to get into a rotten bottom, rotten born, Whatever. Amber's attorney is rotten. Like, how perfect is that? Just to have the name Rotten. I mean, it makes perfect. It's like a perfect name. So now let's get on to the point of Amber's birthday party, right? Which, ironically, her birthday is in a day and a half from now, so I wonder how she's going to celebrate her birthday. She's in Virginia, just like fucking at some stupid dive bar with Elaine Bredhoff and just fucking Rotten Bottom, just taking back shots. Like, we're fucked, aren't we? Yeah, we're fucked. Let's get hammered, dude. Anyway, so back to Amber Heard's birthday party. Johnny Depp was letting her know all day long, like, look, baby, I got this really big, like, life-changing, like, literally a life-changing financial meeting with my new business partner. My new business manager, Ed White. And he was like, I might be a little bit late to your party, but just, it's all good. So he's at this meeting, which is dealing with his finances. He essentially just said that he had a lot of money, and then there was a lot of money just gone, missing. So there was a lot of misuse with his finances because he never really looked at his bank account. He was like, if I'm making movies, then I know I have money. He doesn't really care that much about knowing how much he's worth or what he just trusted too much in other people. That's just, I guess, one of his flaws, unfortunately. But he ended up being a little bit late to Amber's birthday party. So after he left this meeting with his new financial or business manager, he's like, hey, texted Amber, can I get you anything, on my way over? She's like, yeah, get some wine and weed. So he picks up the weed, the wine, and he heads over, and he gets there, and Amber Heard's, like, her demeanor is just, like, cold, like, just not happy. Amber's obviously already been drinking for a little while because he's, like, an hour and a half late to the party. And then Amber, at some point, is just like, I can't believe you do this to me on my birthday. I can't believe you do this to me. So, like, she started a fight after everybody left the party. So they started, like, just, like, departing, like, a little bit here, a little bit there. It's kind of late, gotta go. And once everybody was gone, Amber, like, then shifted gears and was like, fight time, baby. Let's get ready to rumble. So Johnny knew the routine. He knew she was about to come at him hard. So he's like, fuck this. I'm going to go to my room. I'm going to lay down on my bed and just read the book. I'm going to read my book and just chill. And I'm just going to chill. Okay? Like, no fights. Goes to the bed, lays down, reads a book. Amber Heard comes over and just fucking starts hitting him. He didn't take the bait. He didn't engage. But she just starts hitting him. So then Johnny stands up and he's like, stop it. Stop. Then he's like, you want to hit me again? You want to hit me again? Do it. And she just, hits him. He's like, do it again. I don't care if he's asking for it. He's just, every time he says do it and you hit him, you're confirming that this is over. Like, you're helping him in his mind. Like, he's saying do it to see if you do it, and you do it so that way he can, like, just confidently tell himself, we're fucking done here. We're divorcing. This is over. So the next day after the fight, she leaves for Coachella. So she's gone. And then at 4:30 a.m. on April 22nd, which is Amber's birthday, he left Amber. Yes, he leaves Amber, like, for good, quote unquote, on her birthday. What a savage. Now, while Amber's in Coachella, he's like, this is a perfect time for me to go over to her apartment, or to my apartment, whatever, and get all my shit that I need. And I think his security was like, that's not a good time. Well, why? It's perfect time. She's out of town. She's not going to be home for 2 days. Let's go. He's like, look at this picture. Sends him a picture of the infamous shit on the bed. Amber Turd. Yes. He was shown this photo, and all he could do was laugh at the ridiculousness of it. She tried claiming it was the dogs who did it. It's dog shit. Johnny's like, we got teacup Yorkies, which is exactly what I said, like, last year. I was like, these dogs are this big. They're literally this big. Okay? They're not going to shit out their entire body's length. It just doesn't make sense. No, a dog that big does not shit that big, you know what I mean? Or that small. Shit, you get it. And then Johnny talked about his mom and her death and how it affected him, and how he would visit her in the hospital at the end of her days, and how he brought his kids to go see her in the hospital. And it just shows you, man, the dude is unconditionally loving. Unconditionally. Like, his mom was abusive. As abusive as they come. And he still loved her to death. And it taught him one thing, that life is a birdsong. 100 years is a second. Like, let that shit sink in. If you really think on that profoundly, it'll bring you to tears. It'll fuck up your whole day. in a beautiful way. But life is a blink, man. Life is a blink. He then said that Amber Heard was laughing on the phone with Io Tillett about the whole shit in the bed situation. And Johnny was like, give me the phone. He's like, Io, yeah, you can have her. She's all yours. She's all yours. And throws the phone on the couch. Then Amber starts yelling, stop hitting me, Johnny, stop hitting me. That's the last time you'll ever hit me, Johnny. Meanwhile, Johnny's 20 fucking feet away in the kitchen. She's on the couch, he's on the kitchen. And she's screaming out, stop hitting me, Johnny, stop hitting me. So anyways, fast forward, Amber Heard writes the op-ed, and Johnny's life is fucked. She wrote this op-ed because it was the only way she could get back at him. It was like she had to have the last laugh. Because she's a psychopath. It's like she had to. You know, Amber, okay, if you weren't talking about Johnny Depp in that op-ed, then who the fuck were you talking about? Anyways, I'm going to get into the cross-examination tomorrow, but that's all I'm going to say for today. Yeah, I'm tired. I need to go to bed, so thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate you. I appreciate the view, and I appreciate you a little bit more if you hit that like button and subscribe and hit the bell. Also, I'm demonetized, so please consider supporting me. The links are in the description below. And as always, until we meet again, don't you dare forget to pull out. That is POO-L. And stay Darth.
I'm a lane switcher, big tank blank filler, real killer, die for my gang member, gun driller, dope man, dope dealer, gorilla, bank lane switcher.